stop cheating.
Hey, what's up guys? This is PokerXpress, and we are back with another episode of Poker Hands.
When I have one of the hands you've had against me and you have one of the hands against me, we're going to see how it goes. I hear you, buddy.
Today, we're going to be taking a look over 5 of the sickest heads-up bluffs we have seen. Before getting into it, I would like to ask you guys to hit the like button and subscribe if you enjoy our videos, as your support is allowing us to continue posting videos on a daily basis. Let's jump straight into the action.
And I'm sure Taylor will call. See a flop here.
Yep, king 6 of diamonds. Good looking hand. Well, he's counter 3, but I don't think he needs to do this with hands like this. I think there's much better candidates than king 6. But let's see what happens.
That's because we know Darryl has nothing.
170.
But it's a tough test for Darryl. Got to put 120 more in. Then if you miss a flop, just give it up. Maybe he's got no intention of giving it up. Just a matter if it comes back over the top of him or not.
40 big blinds deep. I think calling's
call.
better. Yeah.
You like calling.
I do like calling. He's got position, Mike. You're asking a man to go barreling.
Yeah, he's got position, but if he misses the flop, it's just hard to keep calling.
Well, you can definitely call on this board. Queen, queen, jack. Suits him way more than the 3-better, having raised and called a bet. Taylor shouldn't have too many of those cards. You mentioned him to peel most of those hands pre-flop.
140.
140 is the bet. So D-fish then. Ace-high and a gut shot.
I can assure you, if you're sitting in Taylor's seat, you're saying, please don't call, please don't call.
And you have to just give up now. Once the guy calls you on this board, he can have a queen, he can have
I agree.
jacks.
Better hope a king doesn't come off.
So huge pot here, Mike. Tournament defining pot. Wow, a good card for fish. It gives him an open ender.
A lot of danger out there, though.
Imagine this goes check, checkmate.
I would think so, too.
Always looking at the chips. Has picked up a gut shot draw, but he does check. As I say, 620 in the middle. Fish has 600 behind. I won't bet here and ever get raised. Not that you should do, but checking here, surely the better play. You beat all the bluffs, and you have a draw against the better hands. Here we go.
He does check.
And well, a comfy river for him with ace high. You like seeing that.
Very comfortable. Just in case your opponent's got 4s or 5s.
Yeah.
You're now going to win the pot with ace high. Taylor's got, he thinks maybe check down value if his opponent's got 2 6s.
Wow. Don't know what he's doing here.
He remembered what happened before.
Maybe, I think this is a spot he's trying to make Taylor fold the same hand. But he also knows Fish might be banging ace high, try and make him fold ace high. Whoa!
All in.
Whoa! Wow!
Whoa!
What a play. What a play by Taylor here.
This is incredible, Mike.
Oh, boy. Now they're going to take a time card away. He does lay it down.
Will he show? Burns time chip. What a play by
Seems
Taylor.
like both players are using mostly a raising strategy. I wonder if Simon is a very well-versed heads-up player, given how he was like, I am not making a deal unless you pay me.
Yeah, it was a no-doubter for him. And he said it's nothing personal.
Well, in theory.
In theory. It's always personal.
In that if it was a nice even deal, you'd make an even deal.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Which means you think you have an edge, which is not like, it's not offensive. You shouldn't be offended that he thinks he has an edge. He thinks he has an edge. So it is what it is. Are you willing to pay him the edge that he thinks he has?
Interesting
The
flop
answer was
here.
no, so here we are.
Top 2 pair for Simon, 2 overcards, a gut shot, and a backdoor flush draw for Ryan.
This is one of these spots where if Simon decides to get tricky and call, we could see a whole lot of action. But if he just raises immediately, maybe he gets called if he raises, but then there's not going to be much more money put in the pot unless the turn is a spicy one. All right, wow, going for the slow play. I'm kind of surprised he goes for the slow play.
I think he would check raise worst 2-pair combination, but perhaps feels he kills this board a little too much for that. 4 clubs on the turn will bring Ryan's flush draw into play.
Spicy turn. I can't remember. Has Ryan made many big bluffs so far in this final table, or not so much? He's been making mostly small ones.
Mostly small ones. have to think back to earlier in the final table to have a better answer for you, but I certainly don't remember him getting away with anything where we really couldn't tell if he was going to get called down or not. But here, he bets 1.6 million.
This might be the triple barrel spot we've been waiting for, where someone's going to lose a lot of chips depending on the river. Obviously, if a club comes, I don't think Simon loses much. If the river's an 8, he's on the hook. If the river's a blank, though, he's probably just check calls, no problem. So in this scenario, do you ever raise Simon's 9-7?
You could. I don't think there is anything wrong with raising here. It's going to make this call. I would prefer to raise if jamming was the most natural size, and that feels a little big here. I feel like if we jam, we get called by, well, not just better stuff, of course, but a decent amount of better stuff. King of Hearts on the river.
King River. Pretty nice bluff card for Ryan. In terms of an overcard coming, right? When an overcard comes that makes Simon's top pairs way worse, that is a card that you should feel very inclined to bluff. And you may not even need to go for that big of a bluff size, really, because his only bluffs are, well, primary bluffs are 10-8, Jack-10, Queen-10, Queen-Jack. Guess that's a lot of bluffs. He definitely has clubs in his range, so he'd like to bet big with those. But he'd also like to have a small bet size with King X, presumably. If he bets some of those twice, which may or may not happen.
He's all in!
There we go. We got a spicy turn card. I told you all. Give us a spicy turn. We have action. He's like, take my time cards, please.
This is the tournament. John Simon does cover Ryan, so if he makes the call, it will be over. And to be honest, I can't imagine that he would get here with 2 pair. And he makes the call. It's over. Simon is your champion. A tremendous final table. Ends with inducing his opponent to make a huge bluff on the river.
Comes 7-5 deuce, 2 diamonds. Kyle has the jack of diamonds. A couple backdoor draws for him. Kurganov's 4 is our best. It goes check, check. 3 of diamonds on the turn. Open ender and a flush draw for Igor to go along with this 4 is a better flush draw for Kyle Burns.
Not a fair fight. Igor with the check back quickly on the flop. He did that before when he had top pair. Taking a very similar approach here. Able to pick off a number of bluffs. Cal has one of those holdings. No pair yet. Does have semi-bluff capabilities. Jack of diamonds in his hand. Live pair equity.
Burns leading for 725,000. Kurganov does indeed make the call. Another 4 for Igor.
You'd think that this is a great card, but keep in mind this is a one-liner. Any ace, any 6 makes a straight. And Cal's story suggests that maybe he could have some sort of 6 in his hand. I think ace high would be unlikely. He seemingly would check that unless he had ace with a pair.
10 seconds.
Burns will use a time bank.
The difficulty is Igor is suggesting that maybe he checked behind ace high in the flop. Could have turned some equity, and here we are on this sort of texture. I think he's very close to maybe considering giving up, but if he does go for it, it's got to be meaty.
All in.
That's meaty.
Oh my goodness.
That's all of it. 8.3 million.
Oh my goodness, Cal. This is ridiculous. This is high level.
It's also a bad card, I guess.
10 seconds.
It's 10 seconds. 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 10 seconds
Igor, can he study this? Can he pick it apart? Cal has told a wonderful story. A massive overbet on the river, suggesting, yes, I have all of the sixes. You might even have an ace, and I believe that this bet on the river is intended to perhaps fold out an ace, let alone this set.
If Kurganov can find the call, he'll win the tournament.
Wow.
He cannot. Kyle Burns gets it done with just jack high.
Naughty one?
If you enjoy our videos and would like to see more, make sure to check out the links in the description and follow Party Poker as they are providing us with their content. Also, make sure to comment below what you would like to see next, and we will work on your ideas as soon as possible.
I'll do 7 again. I wanted to just take it down.
You don't have to do
Tom
7.
announces his hand, and Sammy doesn't believe him.
You don't have to do 7.
It's funny, I mean, what would you make 6x with? Obviously, he's trying to take the...
Either 7 deuce or a very strong hand trying to look like 7 deuce, I think.
10,000.
How much?
He's bet nearly the size of the pot, and Sammy calls here. Tom should pretty much be done with this at this stage, right? I mean...
Well, it's hard to say.
Raise.
Oh, Sammy has raised
Raise
it
up
here.
to 27.
A little check raise to only 27,000. You can really see how that big bet pre-flop compounds on itself to build a gigantic pot. Pot had only been 6 going into the flop. Maybe Tom bets 5 and Sammy raises to 15, but now we're building a huge pot here.
Feels like kind of an optimistic call. I mean, that deuce of hearts, you know, the heart will come and Tom could be in big trouble.
Behind. I wonder if he's reading something into that raise size by Sammy. It reminds me a little bit of the Queen-Jack hand, where Sammy had Queen-Jack and Tom had 7-5 on Queen-6-3. And Sammy made a little check raise, and then Tom ended up bluffing him out of the pot. I wonder if something similar might be going on here, if Tom thinks Sammy has made that check raise with a medium-strength hand that he might not be willing to get all his chips in with.
That's a big bet.
It is.
48,000.
That's
How much?
48.
That's a crazy bet. I mean, like, Dirk could... He must think he's drawing dead right now, Dirk.
He probably thinks he's got a shot at the heart being live, but a whole lot of the time, yeah, he'll be drawing dead to a small or medium flush or something like top or second pair with a big heart.
Time to give up.
He's come this far. It's got to be tempting to try to win that 162,000 in the middle one way or another.
I mean, surely Sammy's checked the call here, and Durr knows it.
Sammy has a stronger hand than I think Tom would expect.
So you're thinking maybe he's got something like just a dry king of hearts and he can take him off it?
Or something like King Jack with the King of Hearts, King 10 with the King of Hearts for a gut shot as well.
I'm on.
No!
Oh, wow! That is a gigantic bet.
No way.
More than double the pot. What is Sammy going to do here? This is making things awfully tough on him.
You know, he's checked there. He's checked there to call instantly, hasn't he? And now...
That was the plan, but that plan goes out the window when your opponent bets over double the pot.
He doesn't have 479, but he's got a lot of chips.
About 360, I believe.
I think he's gone like what? You know, this is all fun and games way back when this started. This bet. This is serious. This is serious.
Yeah, I think the stakes might be getting to Sammy now. This is a big bet. Over $250,000.
What does he got to tell himself? What's going in his head? What do you say logically right now?
Just put the dollar amounts out of your mind. Think about the logic of the pot. What can Tom have here? Tom can have a lot of things here. He can have a flop set that's now filled up. He can have the flop nut flush. He could also have a bunch of different bluffs. He could have easily taken one off on the flop with the king of hearts or the queen of hearts. Yeah, turns out he took one off on the flop with the deuce of hearts to set up this bluff, but it's hard to picture Sammy expecting that. And you do have to think back to the $6,000 raise pre-flop, too. That really changes a lot about this hand. There's something weird going on right from the first bet here.
He's looking at him. You can stare at her all day long. And he's just going to have that same...
Sammy might be thinking Tom could have aces with that big raise pre-flop. It's down to the 2 black aces. Sammy's got the ace of diamonds in his hand, and the ace of hearts is on the board.
Would he have played aces like this?
Quite conceivably. There's no street where I think he definitely would have done something different.
I mean, I know Durr plays stakes like this all the time, but this is a big pot. This is a big bluff.
Yeah.
He's gotta be scared that Sammy's gonna call.
Yeah. Sammy looks like he's gonna call. He looks like he's...
This is the pot to get him even.
Yeah, Sammy calls here and he's ahead. Tom will have only about 120,000 left in front of him. Sammy will be up 130. Looks like Sammy might be getting ready to get rid of those cards.
Wow.
Oh, you can't fold, Sammy. There it goes. And Tom will table the 7-2 to collect an additional 10,000. And he told him right at the outset of the hand, I have 7-2. I just wanted to pick up the blinds. Sammy said he didn't believe him.
You want it done?
And he did.
Flush. 2 pair.